Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. Talk 49, War with Iran and the bigger picture. So as I said, when Trump was elected, they picked the right person who would be able to rally the troops for another war. All of this was planned, of course. If you haven't done so already, you should really read the Albert Pike letter to Mazzini regarding the three world wars and how the Third World War would unfold, because the war with Iran that's just started, that is I believe this is the beginning of the end. I think it could, or is likely to, lead into an all-out conflict which could go on for a number of years, and it's designed to be the initiator that collapses the West and collapses the United States, most certainly, and Europe, and the collapse of the dollar, the US dollar. Hence all the attacks of the Gulf countries. So all of this was planned hundreds of years ago, at least 150 years ago, at least. And you know it's planned because it's written. Like I say, the letter to Mazzini is a real key one. It isn't just going to be a quick war that gets over with. It's the beginning of their new world order, to collapse the West and raise the Far East. And as they collapse the West and cause all numbers of chaos, you can expect terrorism to go through the roof. Everything's going to escalate. You can even imagine Trump continuing this war to maintain power and do a third term under an emergency act, under war conditions. It's the type of people that they've chosen to do this job. You can see it clearly as day now. Look at them, Hegseth and Trump and the Department of War. We're the Department of War. I'm not really on any side, because all wars only hurt people, but I think there's a bigger picture here that we should be aware of. Sorry, it's not a walk and talk today, folks, just a sit and talk. And you're looking at an orange tree. I just had one of the oranges. So if the oil is stopped in the Middle East, which it has been done already, that's a key factor to destabilising the dollar, the US dollar, the petrodollar, and all them people that are saying, oh yeah, Trump's my guy, Trump's my president, you know, I believe in you, Trump, let's go to war, let's kill loads of Iranians. They're going to learn a very, very bad lesson. Sadly, it will be too late for them. We've had all of this time to prepare. I started really preparing in earnest around 2015. I discovered this place in 2017, just for this time. I thought that this war would go off would be initiated last year, and it would go big from there. But it seems they were behind schedule on a few things, so they've put it back, well, almost a year. But now I think we're really starting to I think now we're in it, and it's not going to stop. And I think it's been purposefully made that way. Again, I'll apologise for any noise that you might hear in the background. It's just comes with the location. They're going to cause so much chaos and mayhem using this as the spur for it all, that they're going to have every religion fighting every religion until people say they've had enough, save us, and there becomes the new religion of science. They will then show the children in the future those, the videos that have been taken at this time in humanity, to show them children how bad we were and how bad the religious people were. And and that's why they have to live in chains and under a complete surveillance state. All of the migration has been put into Europe and the Western countries has been done on purpose just for this time, because they're going to spur into. They've been chosen as well. They've been vetted, not vetted in the way that you think, but they're the ones that they knew that could be used to cause problems and issues, violence. We've seen small amounts of that violence in comparison to what's coming. It's going to get really, really nasty, and when it does, people are going to be subjected to laws and rules that are just going to be horrendously restricting of any form of freedom that you thought you may have had. I can see this also this war ending up turning America against Israel and the Jews in general, and this will then form a kind of Nazi state, America, and America will be dealt with as Germany was dealt with. I can't really give any timescales, but we're looking at least a good couple of years. But I think it will start. This war will start really hitting people in the next few months. How it was done and organised and arranged is quite incredible. The people that they've used, and how they've used them with bribery, etc. People wonder why the United States is so beholden by Israel. And it's, as I told you in the previous videos, about the three key religions: the sun, the moon, and the star were split up. Into different religions, and the star religion obviously has a favour with whoever's written this plan. So people like Benjamin Netanyahu are more in favour by the real people behind the scenes than Trump or anyone else is. In fact, the priesthood of the start of the stellar priesthood, that being Judaism, is favoured by the real hands behind this picture, is favoured obviously by those real hands. and therefore what they say goes. It's like, for example, you've got the unseen hands that have mastered this plan, the masterminds behind this plan, and they're never seen, they're never known of. And then you have one of the three priesthoods, you know, the stellar, lunar and solar priesthoods. You've got the stellar priesthood being Judaism. Their leader Bibi has obviously got a closer connection to the actual constructors, builders of this plan, and therefore people like Trump and anyone in the United States are not as favoured, and therefore are in the hands and palms of Bibi's orders. Fantastically brilliant the way that they're pulling it off, and have pulled it off. We'll see. I'm sure we'll see a lot more chaos going off in the Middle East. More countries are already joining, and they all. I mean, this is going to. If their plan is to come to fruition as much as they've wanted it to, then and they're already behind schedule, then it's going to be this is the beginning of World War III. Doesn't feel like it for most people. They just think it's another little country in the Middle East that's being bombed by their governments, but it's going to be far, far worse than that. As you can tell, it's always the people that suffer, and people are indoctrinated to follow what they've been told to believe, and not to believe in themselves. America will lose this war, become disgruntled with Israel, and then and be played out as a Nazi regime, and the hatred of the world will be put upon the United States. If you hadn't noticed, it's been going that way for a while now already. But the planners have certainly used the United States up, and they're getting them out of the Middle East now by this war, using this war. It's amazing as well how easily all of the idiots throughout the government of the United States, how easily, and the United Kingdom, have all been used. It's incredible the amount of bribes. And isn't it funny how they talk about, oh, we're going to release more Epstein files, and then all of a sudden Starmer's like, oh, you can use our airfield bases. Unbelievable. We're going to be absolutely hated, and we already are. The West already is. Again, it's just a shame on the people. When I look back at people like my English grandmother, what a lovely lady she was, and all of that beauty and purity in her just got wiped away from us with all the 60s and rock and roll and free sex, and this is where it's got us. I see exactly how our communities were infiltrated all those generations ago, because I'm watching it happen here, where I am. I'm around Indigenous communities and lived with them for a long time, And so I see how they break into these indigenous communities and corrupt them. Alcohol's a big one. I'm just trying to think if there's any other points that I wanted to add. So excuse me if I pause for a moment or two. It's funny because before I do a video I have all of these really important points that I want to say and get across, and then when I start the video they all kind of disappear. The whole world's a stage. Better not to pick sides. Better just to pick your own side, look at nature and find nature as being a sort of perfect example of life, and a good side to choose, because at least you know what you're getting. Could this war go nuclear? I imagine it could. It's funny really, like I say, as being half a Persian myself, watching this unfold is it's a little bit sad, to be honest, because I do have family, relatives in Iran, and I do care for them a lot. And it's kind of painful that they chose that country to be the one that takes that initiates what's happening now. But of course they didn't initiate it. They did try everything that they could to talk, but the United States and the Israelis are creatures, utter monsters, deceivers. But at the top of every regime is the same hand guiding the way. And we must always remember that. As I say, this was written. They're going to have a big war between the Zionists and Islam and the Muslims, and then they're going to unleash the nihilists and atheists for their new world order. And this is just the beginning. I'll leave it there. If I do think of anything else that's important that I've missed, I'll probably add it in the middle somewhere. But if not, I have said my piece really. This is all planned. It was all written about over 100. It was planned over 150 years ago, maybe earlier. And this is the beginning of that plan unfolding. And it's going to get intense for everyone in the world. There won't be a place where we won't feel it. So if you haven't done so already, do try and stock up on some things that you might need as supplies and get yourself in a better position for surviving. As I think it is Charlie Bronson says, hold on to your fillings because it's about to get leery. Be blessed all. Take care. Bye bye.